Limbus company has just received a massive update in which the beloved Mirror Dungeons mode has been completely overhauled, as it progresses from Mirror of the Weathering to Mirror of the Dreaming. With this update, a large amount of mechanics, theme packs and crafting recipes have been changed in some way. A lot of ego gifts have been added as well, changing up the fusions and economy of the Mirror Dungeons even more. In today's video, I want to go over the week 1 changes and additions to the Mirror Dungeon game mode. We will go over the basics, the updated fusion recipes, and we'll take a look at the changes to some of the theme packs as well. I will tell you about the changes to the different mechanics of the mode, point out some details you could miss, and give my opinions on the current state of the Mirror Dungeons and how I think you should play the mode to clear it efficiently. However, before we start, I have to tell you that a large portion of my viewers are not subscribed. If you find yourself coming back to my videos, you should definitely consider subscribing. This way you don't miss my new uploads and can stay in touch with all the updates Limbus company receives. It takes just 1 second of your time and helps me out a lot, so please do press that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get back into the Mirror Dungeons. We will start at the beginning, with the first thing you see when booting up this mode. The entry screen has been changed slightly, now featuring the Mirror Dungeon door in the middle of the screen, with all of your collections being displayed on the left. Some parts are locked as of right now, but that is only temporary. As you enter through the door, you will have to choose a team, and already you can see another change made to the core mechanics of the mode. That's right, Starlight is gone, and the new rest bonus is replacing it. Much like Starlight in the previous Mirror Dungeon, rest bonus goes up to 5 charges, with those charges being tied to specific identities. Whenever you choose a team for the run, you get the sum of all the rest bonuses plus 30 as a resource for the next step of preparation for your Mirror Dungeon run. When you finish a run and claim the rewards, all the identities in the winning team are stripped of all the rest bonus, and all other identities in your collection gain 1 stack of rest bonus back. The identities that you swap in or out of the team during the run have the rest bonus remain unchanged. But what is it for, if there are no stars to unlock now? Well, I'm glad you asked, because now we're moving on to the second step of preparing for a run, which is the Grace of the Dreaming Star screen. This screen is completely new, and this is where you get to use your rest bonus for either resources or powerful effects that alter your entire run. First of all, in the upper right corner of your screen, you get to see the conversion rate of your rest bonus. The amount of that resource that is left over after you're done picking your buffs is converted to cost that you get at the start of the run. You get 5 cost per rest bonus, so with the maximum amount of 90 RB, you're looking at 450 starting cost from the conversion alone. However, you can spend some of that rest bonus to choose graces, powerful buffs that leave an impact on the entirety of the run. They're arranged from cheapest to most expensive, with their cost varying from 10 to 60 RB, and the different graces all impact different parts of the game. For example, the cheapest one, Cumulating Star Cloud, heavily impacts the cost economy of your run, and makes you rethink early purchases in favor of getting more cost later into the run. I will go over all these graces later in the video, as I want to give my opinion on all of them, but that will happen after I'm done with the rest of the mechanics. On the left side of the Grace of the Dreaming Star screen, you have the passives. These passives require you to have a certain amount of rest bonus on your team. However, unlike graces, passives do not take away that RB from the pool that converts into cost at the start of the run. In my testing, it also seems like choosing a grace does not impact the passives, even if you go below that passive's activation cost. That being said, some things surrounding the passives are bugged as of right now. The biggest offender here is the fact that if you open your active effects screen and go to the rest bonus effects, you will see that the costs of each of the passives do not accurately reflect their actual costs. Every cost related passive is marked as requiring 60 plus RB, while the actual 60 RB effect is shown as requiring 50 RB. This does not seem to impact gameplay at all, but just know that this screen is a bunch of gibberish as of right now. Another small tidbit on passives is the fact that due to 30 being the lowest rest bonus possible and graces not impacting your passives, you will always have the effects of the first 3 passives, even if you play the same team over and over. This results in you getting 400 cost and plus 1 ego gift choice on entry in every single run. Speaking of cost, if you have 90 rest bonuses and you do not choose any graces, you will get a total of 1200 cost at the start of your run. 450 of that is from the rest bonus conversion, 200 is the starting cost of every run, and 550 of that is gained through passives. Now, finally, we can actually start our mirror dungeon run. As usual, we have to choose a theme pack at the start of each floor. At the top of the screen, we have a difficulty slider that forces the floor we're about to start into either normal or hard mode. During the first week of Mirror of the Dreaming, only the normal mode is available, however that will change soon, as we will get more updates to the mode. Choosing a theme pack will allow you to get one of the clear bonus ego gifts at the end of the floor. However, if previously only gifts that you don't have could show up at the rewards, now repeat gifts are entirely possible. Whenever you get a gift that you already have, be it through clear rewards or any other means, that gift is replaced by a new type of gift – vestiges. These gifts do not impact combat in any way, and they're also the only type of gift that can stack. There are 5 types of vestiges, corresponding to the 5 tiers of ego gifts. The only things vestiges are good for are fusions and selling. Effectively, they act as fodder you can use to improve your gift pool by using them for fusions. The type of vestige you get is dependent on the quality of the gift you got a duplicate for. And now that I've started talking about gifts, let's take a look at the new shop and updated fusion recipes in Mirror of the Dreaming. First of all, rest stops are gone now. At least in the current MD5 normal mode, there are no rest stops, and instead every floor has a shop right before the boss fight. In this shop you can buy and sell gifts, as well as replace the skills of your sinners as usual. However, you can also enhance and fuse gifts in this new shop. This allows you to buy the gifts that you need for fusions and then fuse and upgrade them right away, making the shop a highly impactful tile that allows your power to spike every time you enter one. Another addition to the shop is the revive function, which allows you to revive a dead sinner in the shop instead of healing others. On the topic of fusions, the fusion ego gifts have been changed in 2 ways. First of all of them now require more gifts to craft. It seems like all the fusion gifts that give you more power now require an additional fusion tier 3 gift alongside their usual components to make the fusion gift. The gifts that only improve the status effect they're tied to require an additional tier 2 gift in the recipe. The required tier 2 gifts can be obtained through normal means and do not require fusion. All the updated tier 4 recipes as well as the new tier 3 recipes are on your screen, so keep this image somewhere to not forget the new crafts. The second change to the fusion gifts is the fact that they got new effects. Some got buffed, while others are not so lucky. The fusion gift of syncing, Black Sheet Music, retains most of its effects, but now the syncing regain has been rewarded, meaning that all enemies or parts regain syncing individually, and the gift got a brand new effect. When an ally hits an enemy with less than 0 SP, or an abnormality that has a 1.2 times gloom weakness or more, the ally also deals gloom damage equal to syncing potency on the enemy divided by 10. This effect deals a minimum of 1 damage, and can proc up to 10 times in one turn. The fusion gift of Poise, Lucky Pouch, got buffed as well, retaining all of its previous effects and gaining 1 more. At combat start, one ally gains 3 Poise potency. This effect prioritizes allies with Gloom Affinity skills, and gives them 2 Poise count on top of the 3 Poise potency as well. In a normal Poise team, Blade Lineage Faust will get this buff if you're running her. However, if you are not running a Blade Lineage team, Thinkmersault is the identity that this effect was probably made for. The fusion gift of Tremor, Coupled Oscillation, got buffed in the same way as Lucky Pouch, as it retains all of its effects, and gains 1 more. When triggering Amplitude Conversion or Entanglement, the enemy is inflicted with Fragile, up to 3 times per turn. This is a very straightforward buff that aims to add more damage into Tremor teams, and especially buffs the Cavernous Wailing Everlasting combo. The fusion gift of Rapture, Enrapturing Trance, got a small buff as well, now having another effect to aid the older ones. If the target has less than 3 Rupture count, inflict +1 more count when inflicting Rupture count up to 3 times per encounter. This effect is fairly small for mirror dungeons, but it does allow you to keep up your stack consistently even without strong Rupture stacking items, and also, once again, tries to gravitate the effect into that 15-3 sweet spot. The last fusion gift that got outright buffed is the Gift of Burn, Soothe the Dead. This gift retains all of its effects and gains a new one. When winning a clash with a skill that inflicts any type of burn, inflict burn equal to the number of remaining coins +1 against the target enemy. This buff is very small and I doubt it will get much value during your runs. But I guess this small buff is supposed to justify adding a fusion tier 3 gift to the crafting recipe of Soothe the Dead. Now we have the fusion gift of Charge, T1 Perpetual Motion Machine, which got changed slightly, and I would argue that it actually got nerfed. This gift retains its turn 1 charge barrier, as well as the damage up at turn start. However, now at every turn end, all allies gain 3 charge barrier next turn, which is an entirely new effect. Also, the offense level buff got scrapped completely, and now consuming 20 charge count gives your identities +1 charge potency instead, up to 2 per identity, so maxing out at 40 charge count used. This change obviously aims to make charge potency easier to stack during your run, which greatly benefits the multi-crack identities, as well as Warp Otis. However, losing 10 offense level on all identities is a major nerf to charge teams in general, as it impacts the entire team and not just half of it. The last fusion gift that got changed is the fusion gift of Bleed, Bloody Mist. And this one got entirely nerfed. The gift retains the double bleed infliction that it provides, but now its coin power and damage buffs got taken away from the entire team and given only to the fastest ally. To make up for this, that ally now can spread the bleed of a killed enemy between other enemies or parts. The rest of the team gets +1 coin power to all skills that inflict bleed, so not even half of the power of the fastest ally. As much as I don't enjoy seeing this, I have to admit that Bloody Mist was by far the strongest fusion gift in the game, and if Project Moon for some reason wanted to make all teams balanced, it needed a nerf. This kind of nerf doesn't destroy the huge nuke potential, but now you will have to get lucky with the ally that goes first, and you can't just spam your strongest skills in one turn to instantly kill any boss at any stage. Before we get back to the graces added with this update, I want to quickly touch on the few theme packs that got new additions to their rosters. Slicers and Dicers is no longer a coin flip between Wayward Passenger and Bamboo-Headed Kim, as it now also features the Barber of La Manchalant as a possible boss. Emotional Judgment got changed from having either Blubbering Toad or Everything There as the floor boss to choosing between Blubbering Toad and the Hurting Teddy Bear. Piercers and Penetrators got LOA Watchdog removed and replaced with Gas Harpoon. Crushers and Breakers saw the removal of Papa Bongi in favor of Erlking Heathcliff. Outside of these changes, some theme packs have received a third option for a floor boss, but the ones I've listed have the most interesting changes in my opinion. Note that we still are only on the normal mode for the mirror dungeons, so some theme packs are not available, and some bosses still haven't made their debut in the Mirror of the Dreaming. Now that we're done with the theme packs, let me talk a bit about the graces of the Dreaming Star, and how each of them can impact your run, as well as whether you should use them for faster or easier clears or not. Starting with the cheapest one, Accumulating Star Cloud gives you 10% of your current cost as a bonus when moving to the next floor. This bonus caps out at 100 cost. It also increases the sale price of one gift per shop by 50%. As I said earlier in the video, this grace mostly changes the way you use cost during your run. Instead of spending your starting 1000 cost at the first shop, you can wait for 2 floors and get 200 more cost from Star Cloud. Considering that the early floors are obviously the easiest, you can easily forgo buying gifts at that point in the run to give yourself a higher chance of getting a double fusion gift by floor 3. If you're a newer player running a team like Bleed, Poise, Burn or even Bloise, I would recommend Star Cloud as a grace that will let you get your fusion gifts easier. If your team heavily relies on fusion gifts to work, the improved economy from this grace can prove vital to getting the necessary gifts even if you're getting very unlucky. Next up, we have Interstellar Travel, the second cheapest grace with a cost of 20 rest bonus. This grace gives you an additional theme pack choice, as well as 2 more theme pack refresh chances. Whenever you choose a new theme pack for the first time, all your identities gains 3 levels up to a max bonus of 9. This grace seems to be specifically made for very new players, who have no theme packs unlocked when starting their mirror dungeon runs. These players will often not have a team with enough cohesion to use fusion gifts, so using levels to gain a clash power and damage advantage is their best choice. If you are a very new player, I would recommend you to use this grace once you start running mirror dungeons, as it can greatly benefit your first few tries. To everyone who isn't new to Limbus company, yeah, avoid this one. It's pretty much a waste of cost. Maybe unless you are going for solo runs and want to meet a certain boss. Our third grace is Binary Star Shop, and it costs 30 rest points. This grace increases the number of gifts sold in the shop by 1, and gives you 20% more cost when winning encounters. It also increases the chance of high-tier ego gifts appearing in shops. As you can see, this grace allows you to gain more cost through battle, and gives you a better way to spend it with the improved shop. Not going to lie, this grace is pretty okay, as it just allows you to get fusion gifts slightly quicker. I wouldn't say you really need it to have better runs, but I think you should try it out if you're into spending a lot of time in the mirror dungeons and making big powerful builds, as this grace pumps a lot of cost into the economy, while making getting a bunch of strong tier 3 and 4 gifts slightly easier with its last effect. Next up, we have Favor of the Nebulae, which is a grace that costs 40 rest points. It gives all your identities 3 levels upon entry, and upon clearing a floor, they get 1 more level. This is a very simple grace, and a decently effective one. At floor 5, you're looking at a 7 level advantage for just 200 cost. More levels means more offense level, which means more clash power and damage, as well as more defense level, which means your sinners take less damage too. The way you could look at Favor of the Nebulae is as 2 sinner level up encounters traded for around 1 tier 3 gift from the shop. I'd say 7 levels is much better than getting 1 extra ego gift, especially if you're cycling through teams to start your runs with insane amounts of cost, which can pretty much guarantee that you get your power spike decently early anyways. Our next grace is Chance Comet, and this one costs 50 rest bonus. The effects of this grace are as follows. Upon entering a shop, you get a random vestige, which can be either tier 1, 2 or 3. When you enter floor 3, you get a free tier 3 ego gift, and when you've used gifts, you get a random gift 2 levels below the fusion result, once per shop. The effects are pretty worthy, but what you need to know here is that you get a whole lot of free fusion materials from this grace. The free vestiges allow you to make more fusions, while the free bonus gifts from fusion can either give you more cost to upgrade your newly fused gifts, or can serve as more fodder for lower level fusions. The free tier 3 gift at stage 3 is also good for fusions, and it's pretty much a refund of Chance Comet's cost, as you can sell it to get part of that 250 cost you need to give up for that effect back. With the buffs to a lot of the fusion gifts, as well as more crafting materials being needed to make them, getting a fusion gift is now something you have to actively seek out and plan for during your run. Chance Comet allows you more consistency in hitting your fusion gifts early, by supercharging your collection with a bunch of gifts that you can sacrifice to get what you need. I would say this one is one of the stronger graces currently available, as getting more fusions will always lead to more power in your run. Also, all the free gifts more than make up for the cost of the grace itself, so in terms of your economy, Chance Comet is actually a positive. Last but certainly not least, we have the most expensive grace, Perfected Possibility. This grace costs 60 rest bonus, and its effects are as follows. You get +1 theme pack choice, you get to get all 3 starting gifts when entering the dungeon, and you get a tier 3 ego gift choice for your selected keyword at the start of your run. As you can see, Perfected Possibility is all about giving your run an explosive start. Between the additional starting tier 2 gift, as well as a free tier 3 gift, you're going to get a sizable advantage in strengths compared to not picking Perfected Possibility. Also, the +1 theme pack choice allows you to better pick your battles, and makes sure you're going up against enemies that are weak to your attacks. All of these effects culminate in Perfected Possibility being made for people who want to quickly run through mirror dungeons one after another, and have a lot of teams to actually get enough rest bonuses to buy Perfected Possibility. Even though this grace sets you back 300 cost, I would say it's worth it if you want to get a lot of power early and steamroll through encounters that are weak to your team. Also, this could greatly help solo runs, as both the early power spike as well as more theme pack choices can be important effects for beating mirror dungeons with just one sinner. And that's it for my overview of changes to the newly revamped mirror dungeons. If I missed anything, make sure to tell me how inattentive I am down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video at any point, consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye!